Phillips Academy's 16th head of school will be Dr. Reynard S. Kington, president of Grinnell College. After several months of extensive searching, the Board of Trustees made the official announcement last Thursday. Coming from a college that shares similar purposes as Andover, Kington will inherit a 242-year legacy when he moves in next summer with his husband and 2 kids. We spoke to students and faculty to hear their thoughts. Here are live reporters Nina Choophungart, Ben Fu, and Cheryl Tugade with the story.
Thank you. Andover's Head of School Search launched in May 2019. The 13 members of the Head of School Search Committee's selection process was lengthy and deliberate, according to Amy Falls, class of '82, chair of the search committee.
We ran an extensive global search.
In the end, all 13.
We spent the first part of the process meeting with various constituents, trying to get a common vision of what people felt the school needed. So there was a lot of time spent listening and thinking about what the school wanted in its next leader. We then crafted a very detailed job description, which was posted on the internet and circulated to a wide variety of educational leaders. We also had a web email address for people in the community to make recommendations. And we had over 80 nominations from members of the Andover community of people that were viewed as wonderful candidates or potential candidates.
In the end, all 13 members of the search committee, including 5 members of the campus community, voted unanimously for Dr. Kington's appointment as head of school. Falls weighs in on how the committee reached their decision.
I think that there was an enormous degree of respect for everything that Reynard represents. His academic credentials are clearly phenomenal. We also, I think, felt that it was a good time to have a background in wellness and health. And I think, importantly, beyond the credentials, Reynard's power as a human being was just very evident.
As the first person of color and openly gay head of school, many students are eager to know what changes and insight Dr. Kington will bring to campus. Dr. Kington has also had a wide range of professional experience, from recently serving as the president of Grinnell College to working at the National Institute of Health. Students weigh in on what they hope Dr. Kington will bring to Andover.
I'm really inspired by Mr. Kington's career. It'll be really refreshing and something new to have the perspective of a physician and economist on this campus. So often we get locked in sort of a academic echo chamber and we hear lots of good opinions, but they're not always, from areas that we don't already frequently discuss. So to have someone like that on our campus will be incredible.
If there's one thing that does sort of need changing, I think it's like a sort of culture where mental illness is not only where they don't necessarily only hire counselors to address mental illness, but also change the culture.
As somebody coming from a college background, I feel like I'll definitely be able to bring changes to have somebody in that sort of position at our school who reflects the community that actually goes here.
I think as a black gay man, he's going to bring such an important perspective onto this campus. We struggle a lot on this campus to address certain issues, and I think the solution that we find is often to just kind of repeat certain things and hope that the student body internalizes that. And as a student on this campus, I can say for sure that that internalization does not always take place, and that there are people that have very deep-seated, I'm willing to say incorrect beliefs that they just kind of maneuver with, and they use more subtly in response to the way that the administration teaches it, as opposed to really internalizing it and learning something. And I'm excited for him to be a presence on this campus, especially as a figure of authority.
And I really want to see what a new head of school will be like, because during my time here, I've only had Mr. Palfrey as a head of school, and I'm sure many other people have also only had Mr. Palfrey, but I kind of want to see what he can bring with his new experiences.
Well, something I liked, especially with Mr. Palfrey before, he connected really well with the students, and he was also a great leader. So I hope that what he can do is do the same thing, where he connects with the students really well, forms really good relationships with them. I think PA is in good hands with him.
Students are not the only ones excited about what Dr. Kington will bring to Andover. Many faculty members also think that his identity and past work aligns well with many of Andover's values. Faculty members weigh in.
I know sort of from what I've heard or read about him that he's just like really interested in like various thoughts and ideas. Like I think that if he just aids to a sort of culture of intellectual curiosity, that would be a benefit in itself. So like within the classroom and then outside of the classroom, like thoughts, ideas, questions, like cultivating them and making Andover kind of a place where those conversations and those discussions happen.
I mean, I definitely was hoping for a head of school who shares our values. So definitely it sounds like Dr. Kington has that priority too, and so I was really excited about that. And it's not just about representation, right? Because he is actually representing underrepresented groups on our campus as a Black man and as a queer man. It's also the fact that he values those things and foregrounds them in his work. It's both. He's both representative in those ways, but then he's also activist, it seems, in the ways that he leads. So like reading some of the op-eds that he's written and noticing like the role he's played at Grinnell, it's clear that that his values really align with our schools in terms of equity and inclusion.
Kington will begin as head of school in the summer of 2020 after he concludes his tenure as president of Grinnell College. In an exclusive interview with the Phillipian, Kington expressed his excitement about continuing Andover's mission for knowledge and goodness.
Almost everyone that I interacted with who had attended the school at some point said something along the lines of, my connection with this school changed who I was. Even though the details varied widely, the consistency in that tone and in saying that at some point this became, unlike other relationships I've had with institutions and communities, into something that was transformative, and that really struck me as being the indication of a remarkable institution.
Nina Choophungart,
Ben Fu,
And Cheryl Tugade
reporting.